Alrighty, everyone, and welcome into another fine edition of TYT Deportes. Jason Rubin, Rick Strom, Pluto Television. Hello, everyone watching on there. Also on the live streams, the Facebook live stream, the YouTube live stream. We are so live. We are live and out right now. So what we need all of you to do is send in all of your thoughts on Facebook and on YouTube, and we will get to those. By the way, very quickly before we get into this, we know that the title, can we just go to this camera for a second? We know the title has continually been Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez post-fight live stream.
We just want to talk about it, man.
I'll let Jason Rubin take it from here.
We just want to talk about how much Gennady Golovkin will fight anybody. Look, we're still excited about we've been testing some things. So
it's a massive screw up.
We've been testing.
We apologize.
We've been testing. Look, guys, technology is a lot more complicated than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like I'm very much a default to Apple because I think it makes life easy.
Honeycrisp, right?
When people, yes, I'm a big fan of Honeycrisp Apple, Granny Smith.
Granny Smith's your number two?
It's my fifth. Well, I just like the taste of it.
Okay.
My point being is that with the testing and the live testing and stuff like that, it's going to take some time. But
yes,
we'll get there.
It'll take some time.
Because what does Jenk say? We'll do it together. And by that I mean you're going to be watching Gennady Golovkin live
I thought that was Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz?
Yeah.
From Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
Was he in Inglourious Bastards?
No, he wasn't it. Bart, kind of a confirmation.
He was after.
He was.
He was in Inglourious Bastards, but he was also in a lot of Tarantino films since then too.
Yes, obviously the most notable one, Django Unchained.
Django Unchained was the one I'm thinking
I love how between two ferns, Zach Galifianakis is like, do you use the N-word more in Django or real life? He goes, real life.
That's
then
great.
he just pushes the button and sends them off. So just seriously, we appreciate everyone's patience. We know that you've given us a ton of downvotes, you've given us a ton of criticism, somewhat warranted, but also, as Jason said, technology is hard. We've adjusted, and obviously you see the new title of this video. So thus we move forward. There was a really interesting comment that Jason Kidd have as it pertains to Russell Westbrook and just his bulldog in a china shop-like mentality when he's driving through the lane. Here that is. This is, well, that's a blank screen. However, he did have some really interesting comments, and it was mainly alluding to, I don't think we have the graphic number in here, but it was mainly-
graphic one.
Graphic one. All righty.
Take a break, because we have to cut it for Pluto anyway.
Yep, all righty. Well, we're still live streaming, so let's tell some jokes.
No, we're good, The cloak's up, we gotta move.
Okay, here we go. He, as in Russell Westbrook, is the Mike Tyson of basketball. When the jump ball goes up, he is coming as Tyson did in getting off the stool. When the bell rings, he's coming for you. Whenever he's on the floor, he plays at one speed, and that's fast and hard. Oh, you dog, you Jason Kidd.
Yeah, this is the most easy way to describe Russell Westbrook. I like the comparison. I think it's a compliment from Kidd.
It is.
Mike Tyson's one of the greatest fighters, most exciting fighters to watch. I don't know if he's one of the greatest, but he's definitely was one of the most exciting, powerful fighters. And what do you associate with Russell Westbrook? Every time Russell Westbrook goes up for any kind of dunk, it looks like he's trying to knock the rim out. And that's what Mike Tyson would do to opponents. So he is. I think power is the word you would associate with Russell Westbrook.
Yes, I agree with that. How I view Russell Westbrook is with great glory and furious anger.
Yeah. He plays angry.
Yeah, he plays angry. I agree with that. The one thing that I'll say, not to be particular, but just as a fan of the sweet science, is that Rocky Marciano, the guy who everyone finally knew was awesome at his respective sport in his heyday because Floyd Mayweather broke the record by beating Conor McGregor. Rocky Marciano, what he would do is, after almost every round, depending on the fighter, he would run off his stool, not jump up. He wouldn't sit down until the bell rung. He would jump off his stool and run to his opponent. I know.
That's fun.
I know.
It's a good way to attack.
It's a great way to attack. But yeah, like could you make any other comparisons really? Like I was trying to think of it.
From fighter to basketball player?
Yeah. Like,
well, Muhammad Ali's a heavyweight and his footwork was remarkable.
Tyson also a heavyweight.
So if you thought of like, I would think of, right, but Tyson's, no one says, well, I'm sure his footwork was outstanding, but no, it's not what people associate with Mike Tyson.
No, not at all.
Knockouts, power, all that kind of stuff. But with Muhammad Ali, his footwork was extremely swift for someone so big, so I would compare him to Hakeem Olajuwon. because no one at that size had the footwork like Hakeem because
I thought we were
as a soccer player.
Okay, I thought
you're like keeping it to now.
Yeah, I was keeping.
No.
I was keeping it to just Russell Westbrook. I like that comparison.
I
like the Muhammad Ali Hakeem Olajuwon comparison.
Who has a very outlandish sense of fashion in the fighting world? Maybe who has interesting shorts that they wear?
Adrian Broner.
Adrian Broner is the fashionista of the ring / post-ring press conference. Well, we have no idea what Russell Westbrook is wearing.
Right. I would also say that Adrian Broner is very similar to Carmelo Anthony because they're all offense, no defense.
They wear hoodies in the summer.
They wear hoodies in the summer. Yeah. I'd like to see Carmelo Anthony's tipping policy as well. Because Adrian Broner is a pretty cheap dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I read recently, I think Demi Lovato left like a $500.
That's not cool. Oh,
no, like
I thought you were gonna say a shit tip.
Oh no, it was like a $20 meal and she left like a $500 tip or something because she just liked the waitress. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. What's the biggest tip you ever left for somebody?
Oh, 18%. I don't know, man. I think my limit.
18% minus alcohol. So $17.47 was the biggest tip I ever left.
Nah, man, I don't know.
Have you ever been in a restaurant and the service was just make a tip aside? I'm saying like just in general, you're like, man, that's just like the greatest service ever. That perfect middle ground between like them getting everything that you want and maybe even being like a cool person, but not being overbearing. Like, all right, they're trying to sell me something.
Right.
Like, I get it. I'm gonna order food. You don't need to sell me the menu. I'm already here. I've never been the type of person to ever walk out of a restaurant. Like, I think that's super strange.
I agree.
Like,
I knew some kids in high school that did that, and I was the one who actually like stayed and paid because I felt terrible.
I can't walk out of a restaurant. I couldn't do that. I also like just when you ever get like the cheesy way. What is it from Office Space? You see Billy over there has 37 pieces of flair.
Of flair, yeah.
You only have 3.
That boss is really good.
You need more flair.
So 2 points.
Sorry.
Number 1, you brought up menu, and immediately what came to mind is I get kind of creeped out when the food is on the menu. Like pictures, yeah.
It never looks like the picture.
It never looks like the pictures. You're deceiving the public. Secondly, how I view waiters and waitresses, this is not terrible, it's just factual with not only me, but a lot of other people as well, societal means, is that I view them like the offensive line. I only notice them when they're really bad, and then I'll be critical.
Right.
Usually I expect them to just respect my space, I respect their space, we'll chit chat a little bit in the beginning. Like you didn't watch Curb, but what happened was when Larry would pull up to the golf course, he would always have to have like a 10-minute conversation.
He doesn't want to have that.
And he doesn't want to have that conversation. So like, yeah, you get it out of the way, you do this, you do that, and then we just proceed in opposite directions.
That's amazing. That's such a real life thing. Any other comparisons for Russ though? You think like, okay, so like Jason Kidd, who
I think he has. I know that it was like aggressiveness that we were basing this off of, but I also think that when he is taking a guy one-on-one, like even against the Bucks yesterday, when he was isolated against Malcolm Brogdon at times, he was creative with his dribbling. He had a lot of inside-outside dribbles, and then he would just attack you, essentially going to the body.
Yeah.
So when I think of that, I think of Bernard Hopkins and the liver shot that he had against Oscar De La Hoya, where De La Hoya was just down on the ground, writhing in pain. And what do you know? Now they're in business together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really interesting comparison. What I think we should do is try to compile about 5 players that we have and in comparison to 5 fighters. I like the Hakeem Olajuwon, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, which is
I really like that.
You ever watch the 30 for 30 on the Rockets, the 94-95 Rockets?
I did not, no.
Really, really well done.
How many 30 for 30s are there? Are there 60?
There's way more than 30. It started off as like, it was supposed to be, I think, 30 films for 30 months, something like that.
30 days.
30 films for 30 days or something like that, but like they'd release one a month. I forgot exactly, but they also have 30 for 30 shorts. It's a really well done.
It is.
It's one
kudos to Simmons.
So like it's kudos to Simmons for creating it, and on top of that, like Look, as much as we continuously crap on ESPN for being completely tone deaf at times, like they do some things extremely well. That's one of them.
Yes. Outside the Lines is also incredible.
Yes, Outside the Lines is really good. I actually liked the Sports Reporters when it was around.
R.I.P. John Saunders.
R.I.P. John Saunders. So the 30 for 30 on the Rockets, for one, it being, of course, very well done. On top of that, it just shows you how rare of finding Hakeem Olajuwon was for the time, especially for a guy who started playing basketball when he was like 19 years old. So it's the fancy football footwork that he had growing up, and then just grew too big to play that sport.
Right.
So he had this very quick movement. He had some cultural adjustment issues, if you will, when he came to the US.
I gotta watch it.
It's really, I don't want to make this comparison because Puig has a very different past, Yasiel Puig for the Dodgers, but like you gotta give some players that are coming from different countries more than a day to adjust to a brand new culture, especially if that wasn't the way they were brought up. So he was tough. He had this attitude problem, according to his coaches, and of course, once he bought into being a less selfish basketball player, my God, did that unlock one of the greatest players we've ever seen, because he just became the point center before there was a point center. And man, was he fucking powerful.
Here's what I'll say, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Is for many millennials, they may not know who Hakeem Olajuwon is.
I know, go watch the tape.
Go watch the tape, go YouTube his highlights, but here's what you should also know as well. If you were ever a fan of any player in their prime in the last 10 years, you know who they worked with in order to improve everything about their low post game and their footwork?
Hakeem
Olajuwon. Kobe Bryant went to Hakeem Olajuwon. Dwight Howard in his prime went to Hakeem Olajuwon. Everybody went to Hakeem Olajuwon. Shaq.
Joel Embiid.
Everybody.
Joel Embiid's the closest thing we've seen. I know a lot of people bring out the Wilt Chamberlain numbers. Joel Embiid, for the size he is, no one should have that fluidity in the way they move for being that big. It just doesn't add up. That's why it's so rare. Like we look at Kat and Porzingis as like unicorn players, but like they have a different skill set as bigs. Porzingis is too big, 7'3", and Kat can't play defense. So like when you look at Embiid, he really is that complete, if he can stay healthy, package.
Yes. All right. I know that we have a lot of Toronto Raptors. The Tour de France.
Very fancy up in Canada.
The Toronto Raptors. Someone brought this up to me. A friend in Chicago, and he said, "What's the name of that cycling contest?"
The Tour de France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, what nation does Paul Pogba represent?
France.
See, you said it differently.
France.
We all say France.
Yeah, we say France.
Why is it different when it's the Tour de France than when it's?
Was it created in France? Is
was
that
it?
how they say it?
I have to assume, yes.
Dave, Tour de France expert Dave Kohler.
Okay, now let's play Dave Kohler's Frenchman.
Let's play Dave Kohler's America.
Okay,
here are the
question
stories.
number one. This city is also the home to some men that may or may not have gone to the World Cup in 2002 and also was the centerpiece in a big art gallery that was explored by Frenchmen in past times.
Could you say Cenk doesn't talk enough about environmental issues?
Oh, Cenk doesn't talk enough about environmental issues, Jason.
Does anybody really watch TYT Sports? Dave said that to me before. He takes me to lunch. Dave, I was just telling you about some things with a lot of you, and he goes, "Well, does anybody really watch the channel?" I don't know, Dave.
You said that to me?
Yeah, thanks for lunch.
What was your response?
It was, I don't know. You bought me lunch, so I'm not about to say.
He bought you lunch?
Yeah.
I would give in to whatever he has to say.
We go on a secret lunch every like 2 months. Buys me lunch. Sometimes if we're low on cash, Dave would just be, "Dave, let's go to the food truck." "Okay, Jason, let's go to the food truck."
Oh man,
He once bought me Panda Express. What a guy.
Orange chicken?
Yeah, of course.
Gotta get it.
Chicken.
And then you're shitting for like 5 days.
Right, and you're hungry. Even as you're eating it, you're getting hungrier.
No.
You're getting hungrier as you eat it. It's remarkable.
In my Panda Prime, all right? It sounded really cool. In my Panda Prime, what I would do is get double orange chicken, double fried rice, and then I'd be good.
There's no combo I've done. There's no combo that I've done that works. I'll be like, give me 5 entrees, give me 7 combinations.
You want to go to
sides.
Panda for lunch?
Yeah, I'll go to Panda for lunch.
Maybe we'll see designer. It's a Panda reference.
Panda. We got to.
So the
to
Toronto Raptors.
We got to get to Drake.
Drake, DeMar, Kyle Lowry.
That's what I wrote on the. It's a first name basis here. I wrote it on the rundown.
You did.
Drake versus DeMar versus Kyle. Kyle's pretty standard, but like DeMar is. Yeah, it's. Oh, there it is. You can see it. Drake versus DeMar.
All right, so Drake had a challenge per se for his Toronto Raptors friends. It's called the One and Done Challenge. And the surprising thing is, it's also with a line in there about John Calipari, his good friend at Kentucky. Nonetheless, here's the One and Done Challenge. Take a look and we'll discuss.
Get his check when the summer come. I should play for Calipari cause I'm one and done.
Is this a new song?
Gotta be.
Is it because his voice sounds higher?
It's not Drake.
It's not Drake rapping. Okay, who's rapping?
It's someone who I believe is signed with OVO.
OVO, okay, that made sense. I was like, it doesn't sound like Drake.
No.
Because it was the higher pitched voice. But
Definitely
the flow is similar in like that way. Undefeated World Series better at 8 million on the Dodgers to win last night, and he has 14 million on them tonight. That's insane, the Let It Ride people. Which brings up a very quick point. Ever see the movie The Gambler with Marky Mark?
No.
Essentially, a lot of people didn't like that movie. In general though, it definitely taps into the idea of like, it's not about the money being won, it's about the wanting to gamble more. And that's what that's what this example is the people who do the Let It Ride. So like when the Dodgers win streak was happening, here's your only mention of the World Series that's in this clip. A lot of that's because Pluto TV goes up a little bit later in the week, so because it's gonna be after Game 7, we don't wanna talk about Game 6. We're gonna talk about it for YouTube specifically, so you guys will still see that. But if it went to Pluto, like somebody would have won the World Series, and we'd be sitting here like, well, you know, Kenley came in the ninth and pitched absolutely wonderfully to really get those last couple outs. He also pitched in the 8th. Jock wants to get paid. All these things that'd be like, yeah, guys, we know, but the other team might have won the World Series.
Right, but yeah, exactly.
So I'm not gonna the Let It Ride people, like the guy when the Dodgers won like 10 in a row or 12 in a row, he kept letting it ride and letting it ride. And like a lot of people say, how do you not cash out? First of all, how do you not cash out at like $8,000? I'm sitting there being like $8,000 for anybody our age is life-changing money. Not life-changing, but at least like
it helps.
It's month-changing money or like a couple months changing money. So
that's
like 14 million, I hope the guy wins. I hope the guy wins so he can cash out on 14 million, but man, you could also, here's what you can do as a gambler if you really wanted to. Cash out 4 million of that and then let 4 million ride.
I agree with
because
that.
at that point you're going, at least you're getting your life-changing sum.
So Drake and DeMar and Kyle Lowry.
So random.
So the Toronto Raptors.
We showed the video.
We showed the video.
My head's all over the place today.
I think I actually found it up there.
No, oh, event.
Come on. So
I'm not even gonna mention it.
I think this is smart marketing. That's the perspective I'm gonna share. It's smart marketing because Drake, well, here's the thing, like I don't follow Drake on social media because I just think all those people, and this is not a negative thing.
What do you mean by?
I just don't follow that sort of agenda of being like, okay, I gotta post this at this time with this person, tagging this place.
What's his name? Champagne Poppy.
Champagne Poppy. So it's just kind of, it's premeditated. It's artificial.
He posts a lot. A lot of people know, like there was like maybe 3-4 years ago, like I had some strong feelings about Drake. I wasn't a huge fan.
How many years ago was this that you weren't a huge fan?
4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know. It was really immature because
so let's post thank me later.
Yeah, and it wasn't a music thing. It was the social media thing. It was just kind of came off like he was trying too hard. But then like you grow up and you realize, no man, he's just capitalizing on his brand. Right. Because Drake is a brand. OVO is his like label and that's his own brand too. But like I'm not gonna hold it against Drake that he gets to pose with Odell Beckham Jr. and Michael Jordan and show off his shoe collection. Like, you know, I never criticized Floyd Mayweather for doing it, and what is Drake doing any differently? He's doing the same thing. He's showing off his cars and his money, and that's fine.
From that aspect, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Just from showing off. Yeah.
Brian Hoyer was
You could say that with who?
The
Patriots, of course. So Yeah, like it's just my own personal feeling.
So did you follow, like, who? Okay, so who do you follow Instagram-wise?
You.
That's literally it? That's a
Pretty
very
much.
boring feed. Give me 5. Give me 5 accounts that you like to follow. It doesn't have to be celebrity. It doesn't have to be celebrities.
Sports leagues.
Just league? Like no single
Yeah, dude,
athlete or?
One guy I follow, Goldlink, who I think is so superbly talented.
Cool.
Not really a known guy in hip hop. He's getting there. He's working with K Tronado a lot.
Oh.
But Goldlink, I'd say, is one that.
But you don't follow like J. Cole on Twitter, or you don't follow?
No, because like if he
The
tweets,
Dreamville
it's a big thing. Like whenever he tweets, I know about it because it gets endless retweets because he doesn't use Twitter.
So it doesn't matter. So if enough people already see it, that makes sense.
It's not about supporting him. He already has like 5 million
he
followers.
doesn't need it.
I don't matter.
I follow. There's a couple people that I just think are brilliant at the Twitter. Like if anybody doesn't follow Brandon
What
McCarthy,
is it with you inserting "the" in front of a social media platform?
It's only social media platforms. I've been saying it for years like that. It's the Twitter, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Snapchat.
You sound like the mother.
The father, absolutely. It's mostly because that's what my dad says. He goes, "Are you on the YouTube?" So I just thought that was so funny that it's like, Jesus.
Serious question: do your parents know how to find your clips without you emailing them the clip?
It took my dad about 2 years. He used to call and say like, "What do I do?" I go, "Well, you just go to youtube.com/TYT Sports. You can subscribe there too for anybody who wants to." And he goes, "And then what?" I go, "Well, you're gonna come up, you're gonna see a page." He goes, "Yeah, but how do I know which clips are with you?"
My parents, that's the same
You go,
thing.
"You gotta watch the clip," and he goes, "And then what?" It's like, I don't. Then you click on the other clips.
You know what you should have said? Say that again. The last
and
part.
then what?
First, I'm gonna stack my dough.
Right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna leave the feed up and you're gonna keep re-clicking it every single day. So
Oh shit, that's so funny.
So it took him forever to figure that out.
Right.
And then after he figures it out, he looks at it, I go, "Have you been watching?" He goes, "No." I just kind of siphoned through it and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." He goes, "When you talk about like, you know, interesting stuff." I'm like, "Interesting stuff like what?" He's like, "I don't know, like you said, like there's a dog that ran on the baseball field. That's kind of
Great clip.
But he's like, yeah, like recaps and like whatever that stupid stuff." He always he said this to Francis when he came here. He goes, "So why do you even like soccer?" He's not a soccer football fan. He's not a.
What gave it away?
I don't know. It was just so funny that it's just the first
Wait.
thing. He goes, "It's really nice to meet you." He goes, like, "What's with the soccer thing?" "Dad, be nice." He goes, "No, I'm just curious." "Why?" The other thing is he gets Amir and Hassan. He thinks Amir Nakui, who's executive producer at Pop Trigger and What the Flick, not that they're confused, but for some reason he thought Amir he thought Amir was Hassan. And so, but then when he called, so Amir went to Michigan, my dad went to Wisconsin. That's a problem because they're rivals. And he always said like, "Oh, Amir he seemed like a nice guy. It sucks that he went to such a crap school, but like."
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, man.
Wait, can we go
And
back
then
for
when
a second?
anytime he comes to LA now, he goes, "I want to go see my friends." That's what he tells me. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I want to see Amir, I want to see Hassan, I want to see friends." I was like, "They're not your friends."
Yeah, it's a point that I have to make to my mom every time.
They get really excited.
What she does
See,
is
like Ben, he loves Ben.
My parents
Big fan
love
of
Ben.
Big fan of Ben.
yeah, everyone's a fan.
He goes, when are you gonna go work with Ben at TCM? I go, "I'm not going to work with Ben at TCM."
Your mom or your dad asked you that? Your dad.
The grandma's a major fan of Ben Mank, big fan of Ben Mank.
So were my grandparents.
Yeah, big because they watched him on TCM all the
Ben
time.
has a loyal old following.
My grandma, when she found out I was like, when I got this before she passed, but like when I got the job, and she said, and she goes, who works there? Well, a very, very sweet, caring grandmother.
Right.
And I said, actually, one of the shows that you watch, TCM, one of the hosts is, and she goes, "He is just the most lovely, lovely man I've ever seen. Just so professional." Like grandparents used to watch, and they still do, like all the time. They love the man.
Right, but then you should have been like, yeah, but you should have seen how he screwed me out of so many bets.
Right. He goes, you should dress more like him, and if you could grow your hair like him too.
No
that
one
would
can
be
grow their hair like
wonderful."
Ben Mankiewicz. Ben Mankiewicz is a unicorn in terms of hair.
Right, that's where he goes.
Yeah.
He goes, "You think I have jobs in this industry because of anything else?"
That's funny. That's funny.
Tangents aside.
What was I gonna say?
We're gonna move to Giannis,
No,
Giannis,
real
Giannis.
quick.
Oh, Drake.
We probably have like 3 minutes left.
Editors will cut it down for Pluto. We'll leave the longer stuff up for YouTube. Don't worry, Pluto people.
So, what was Francis's reaction when your dad said that?
Oh, my
to him?
dad's he was being sarcastic, and Francis just laughed, and then they busted each other's balls for like 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I think my dad meant it seriously.
No, I think he meant it seriously too.
But at the same time, like he's a conversationalist kind of guy. He's the type of guy who will tell you a story and then tell every person he knows that same story, and then get back to you and be like, "Dad, you told me the story already."
Right.
He goes,
How-
"Oh, okay."
Yeah. How I figured that would go down is like your dad would be like, what's with the soccer stuff? And Francis would be like, what's with your Rangers stuff? Rival the Celtic.
Right.
Yeah, New York guy. Yeah, so that wasn't funny. All right.
No, it was. I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Got it. I'm laughing on the inside. Giannis.
Hang on, let me pull up YouTube here, because again, we appreciate everyone watching.
Oh, the comments.
Yeah, for the comments. We
Yeah,
appreciate everyone watching.
After this, we have to do the World Series clip, and we got to do we got 23 minutes. We'll make it work, right, Bartman?
No,
We'll make it work.
No.
Right?
No.
Skip, team, friends.
Whoa, that's an echo. All right,
me.
Live chat.
Live chat.
Let's
We're
go
gonna
to that.
quickly check in with
Let's
what
go to
they're
that
saying.
stuff.
I'm afraid of what they're
Daniel
saying.
says hello. Liam
up?
says hello.
up,
Daniel
dude?
says, is anybody there?
up,
Liam
dude?
says, what up?
That it?
Nope. Joe Sanders says, go Timberwolves, LOL.
Okay.
Joe says, go Vikings. I think I catch a theme here. You're from Miami.
Minnesota.
LD Lede says,
Stranger Things.
that was fucking
Very
ridiculous.
strange. The cap fell off a camera.
A part of the camera just fell off.
No, it's this lens cap. It was just sitting. It was.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was sitting nicely on
Thank
top
God.
of it.
Sickly Smooth says, hey guys, what up, bro? Let's see. Joe Lopez 40. We'll get to all the Game 7 stuff. I'm sorry. I know you guys want to see
Yeah, they're
it.
gonna get it. Jeez,
We're gonna
patience.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to
My
it.
God.
And let's see.
like a stress ball.
All right, keep sending in. I'm gonna have YouTube. He'll maybe have Facebook up, but continue sending in your comments. OG Ghost XX says, "Hey guys, with a capital H and a capital G. That is savvy." All right, continue to send in your comments. Lastly, Giannis Antetokounmpo is clearly the MVP through a very small sample size of 7 games. Regardless, he's playing out of his mind. Against Oklahoma City, did he have his best game by our standards? No, but he still had 28 very hard-earned points, and he went 9 of 14 from the field against one of the better defenders in the NBA. And Andre, don't call me with a hard O, whether it's a soft O, Robertson. Yes, I heard Gus Johnson on the broadcast say Roberson. It was like, oh, come on, man.
Roberson.
Come on, man, it's Robertson.
Roberson.
Everyone,
It's
and where
like
did he go to
Bender.
school?
Andre?
Yep.
I don't know.
Colorado.
Sco Buffs.
School Buffs.
Cordell.
Amazing how I don't even like Colorado. I didn't go to Colorado, and the only reason I like Colorado is because of
I just thought
girlfriend,
it's really funny.
girlfriend Daniela.
I think it's really funny. Is that where she went? She was a Buff?
She's a Buff.
Oh, that's awesome. My cousin who I live with is a Buff.
Can I tell you a quick story about Colorado? Super quick.
Are we the same ages? Am I the same age as
Yes.
girl?
Yes.
She probably knows half the people I know from Colorado. Well, it's a big school.
You
but
guys need
still,
to talk. No, she knows like freaking everything.
Everybody, all the Buff people. That's like the Elon people out on this coast. They're like, yeah, it's an
Musk?
Elon, the university.
Oh.
There's like a business school there, and they also have like some campus, I think, in LA. And all of a sudden, I get it, Elon Musk, the tech guy, don't worry.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, I just think it's just like DC, and like, oh, it's an Elon party, like they're taking over this bar. I'm like, what the fuck?
Quick.
Cordell Stewart was a Buff.
Correct. Cordell Stewart.
all
So
I
was
wanted to
Rashawn Salam.
All I wanted to say. Salami?
Horrible running back. Quick story. When we were driving from Chicago to LA, when I took the job to come back to TYT, stopped in Boulder. Beautiful. Have you been before?
Yes.
My God. I kept telling Daniela, I fucked up.
Move here, yeah. it's a
Indiana's
school.
great, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Baller.
Oh God, amazing. And so I see F622 says, I like this new live stream format. Got your back. So we're walking on the campus and like we're going to go get some food. We're walking with Carl. Carl's my dog, loving everything. And I'm not kidding. This guy who like fits the Colorado bro format of a person, which is backwards hat, high socks, not to the knee, but like above the ankle, half knee, more to the shin, I'd say. White socks, Vans, and like light blue shorts, right?
Yep.
And a white shirt. And he walks by us, and I'm like, is that what Boulder is? And she's like, no, it's just him. And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. And here's how I know. He goes, we hear him hollering to his friend who's like in this white pickup truck. He's like, oh, bro, what's up, man? And the guy's like, yo, dude, you want to hit before class?
Yeah, right.
And he was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Not kidding. Oh, he also had a longboard. And I have nothing against any of these things. I just thought it was very funny that it was encapsulated in that one moment that I will never forget on the University of Colorado's campus.
Yeah, of course. It's fucking legal there. It's recreationally legal. You could fucking walk into a shop, just go in, smoke your fucking brains out, and then just go to class and be like, oh, I'm just medically impaired for this test. Oh, man, I'm just really tired, teach. Can I get like an extra day? I found out recently that my school, University of Rhode Island, the town that it's in, Narragansett, was like second to Boulder for most like weed smoked per capita, like per like square mile. And that's literally because the University of Rhode Island is there. I'm just like, I thought there was a lot of people who smoked weed at my school, but like I didn't know it was like top 10 in the country status.
Right, completely.
Nothing else to do in the small
Lamar
state.
Odom's the best player to come out of Rhode Island?
Lamar Odom is by far the best player because he took them. Well, he got kicked out of like UNLV or something like that. He got kicked out of the school like first, and then he was given a shot at URI, and they took him to the tournament, to the Sweet 16. And then since then, the team last year wasn't bad. E.C. Matthews is not a bad player. Xavier Munford was on summer league rosters and is playing for, I think, the G League now. He has a shot. I watched him play alongside, I think, Darren Fox. He was there on the Kings summer league team.
Sean Smith has the best comment of all time. He said, just got here. What are they talking about?
Weed. Stick around.
We've gone every which way.
Some people think when I do this to the pen, I'm like, somebody goes, we get it, Jason, you vape. It's a pen.
Did you ever see that one video that someone posted on Facebook where he had a screwdriver, but he covered up the other side and he was like, yo, take a hit.
And the guy's just like.
And he's like, yo, it's a screwdriver, you fucking idiot.
All right, back to Giannis so we can wrap it up really quick.
He's leading the MVP odds against Oklahoma City. He was a hard-earned 9 of 14. He had foul trouble early, and yet I think it's still remarkable with that foul trouble and how he was literally the only option because they could not hit the three against Oklahoma City, that he still had 28 points. But did we learn something from Oklahoma City defending against Giannis?
Did we learn something? The thing I learned just in general from the game, to completely change your question, is Russell Westbrook is getting better defensively against any of his matchups. It's been underreported because, of course, his offense is so remarkable, and remarkable in the sense of it being polarizing in the way you watch him play the game. But like defensively, he's getting not exactly faster, he's getting smarter. He's getting into passing lanes quicker. His hands are getting quicker, so he's getting some more steals out of plays. He's moving in transition defense, I want to say, more fluidly than he was last year and the year before. And Russ is, I think, one of the middle of the road defenders. Like, no one's ever going to take anything away from his defense saying he's a terrible defender, the James Harden argument. And no one's about to say he's Chris Paul or Mike Conley, but he's starting to make a good push that if he does this over 82 games in the playoffs, like, you'll see how much of a difference that makes. And it's one of those things where, in Russell Westbrook's case, his leadership should not be in question. Because last year when it's only his team, the triple doubles, all these things, like, man, Westbrook has shown a lot in just this few games for adjusting to having these new teammates in Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. And just because he doesn't answer the media questions with the most friendly way, with a smile on, doesn't mean he's not leading the team the right way. So what do we learn from guarding Giannis? You can try really fucking hard, he's still gonna get 28 on 9 of 14 shooting.
Correct.
His bad days are still good days, and that's what puts you in a caliber of tier 2 or eventually 1 players.
Amazingly, I believe Russell Westbrook was 12, 10, and 9 last night. He He had 9
Oh,
assists.
the Rondo stat line.
Yeah. No. The
9,
Lonzo Ball stat line,
Lonzo
according
Ball.
to ESPN.
The 9, 15, and 8
Those are
on
dirty.
2 of 12 shooting.
Those are dirty Rondo, Jason Kidd numbers when he wasn't scoring.
I know.
So
the Rondo
he
stat
could have had
LaRondo Ball.
LaRondo Ball, nice. I think he could have. Well, he had 9 assists in the third quarter, so he could have. Russell Westbrook. He could have easily tacked on another. I think what we learned more so about Milwaukee is that if Giannis is in foul trouble, I understand that he's the MVP, and it's going to be. We're going to put him on that. What's the West way? What's the Westbrook West way? We are elevating him to new heights when it comes to the MVP because we saw how valuable he is when he's not on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
However, for some people, I'm not speaking for you, I'm speaking for myself. Like, if this were to happen, we would think that they would still be competitive with the ensemble that they have.
Yes.
And Chris Middleton would be able to take over. Malcolm Brogdon would show himself, and Thon Maker would maybe hit a few more threes.
Soon, they're so young.
They're so
That's the
young.
problem.
They're
And
so young,
Parker's
but they're just
injured.
not there yet.
I know,
without
and if
Giannis
Parker
on the
could
floor.
stay healthy,
I know.
when they get him back, like last year there was a massive hole when it came to the team because Middleton wasn't there to really actually space the floor, and because Giannis takes up so much space. Like anyway, that they needed Middleton back, and now you're seeing what happens. Well, it's a different hole that they have with Parker out, so they need to stay healthy, or eventually, whether development or they just gotta grab somebody. Like they're one player, they're one star player developing on that team, or one star player away from absolutely taking over the Eastern Conference because of how good Giannis actually is. Like LeBron took one of the worst teams in the world to the finals in 2007. Jesus, man. And by the way, his team now is almost as bad. It's not as bad because of star
Did they
power.
have Devin George on that team?
Devin George doesn't even know if he was on that team, even if he was. They might have had George Devin on the team, more likely. That team was bad.
Boobie Gibson.
It was as
DeJuan
bad.
Wagner was maybe
Zajunas
on that
Ilgauskas.
team.
It was as bad. Was there a snow on that team, or am I thinking of the Philadelphia 76ers in 2001?
What was more? Let's open this up for another time. But what's more impressive? Iverson taking the Sixers to the finals, or LeBron? Save it. LeBron taking the Cavs to the finals.
Undoubtedly, AI.
Comment section below.
Undoubtedly, Allen Iverson. If AI was built like LeBron, they would have beat the Lakers.
If what?
If AI was built like LeBron, they would have beat the Lakers.
I'm just saying, with having less.
Dude, they're so
having
bad. Both those teams without those players go like 5-77.
I mean, like Eric Snow was a really good point guard to Allen Iverson because it was like, yeah, I'll get him the ball.
No, Eric Snow wasn't really good at anything.
He was a good point guard.
No,
he was a serviceable point guard in the NBA. Aaron McKee, a guest service. You know what they did have?
Marcus Camby's carcass played for that team.
Samuel Dalembert was good.
No, okay.
He was good on that team.
Your use of good,
he was blocking shots.
Your use of good
He was putting
is
dudes
scaring
on his
me.
ass, on their ass.
Good.
What?
Good. Your use of good is scaring me.
Oh,
Replaceable.
You know what that is?
It's serviceable.
That's good.
You gotta make. You have to use. You're finding synonyms to like justifying the good. Serviceable is a very nice word choice. But if you have to use words like serviceable, to meet your team,
like Brian Hoyer, serviceable backup.
Brian Hoyer's your quarterback. Just like the limbs to GPA argument, you're not going anywhere. 0.0.
You know how you should have ended that? Was the Justin Bieber roast? When Andy Shamberg? What was his name?
Andy Samberg.
Samberg. Where's Shamberg coming from? Shamwow. When he would go, you smell like feet. Boom, roasted.
Michael Scott.
It was off of the Michael Scott thing, yeah, from Office Space. Okay, somehow we're sorry to the editors.
We're done.
We screwed you. That's Pluto TV. So I'll read some comments. Let's take off the Pluto graphic.
Well, we don't have time because we got to do the World Series.
We got to do the World Series. All right, just leave it on. You know, YOLO, who gives a shit? Okay. Game 6 was awesome last night. Game 7 going to be, we believe, even more spectacular this evening. Lance McCullers is going for the Houston Astros. Yu Darvish going for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The sixth inning last night, just to recap very quickly, the sixth inning is where everything turned. There was a big double switch in the top half of the sixth inning when Chase Utley came in along with Brandon Morrow, Logan Forsythe, and who was after Rich Hill?
Brandon Morrow pitched for
Brandon Morrow pitched, and then Tony Watson came in as well to face Brian McCann. So it was a double switch for the lefty-lefty matchup. That was a little bit later, but the main point is Chase Utley had been hitless in the World Series, but then he got hit. HBP. He got on base.
You realize how amazing it is
open.
that Chase Utley was involved in a rule named after Chase Utley. You realize that, like my friend Bobby pointed out, the second it happened on Twitter, he goes,
that is awesome.
"This is unbelievable." It would be like the Buster Posey rule happening to Buster Posey. But that can't happen. So because like nobody's barreling the catcher ever again. And the chance of it being Buster Posey is even more insane. Chase Utley, who's 67 years old and gray, fully gray, is involved in a rule. Chase Utley is a great player, but he's a total piece of shit because he broke Ruben Tejada's leg. I've said that to Jesus for years.
Get over it.
It was a very dirty slide. Actually, it really wasn't. It was the right play to make because since you are 3 years old, even in fucking Little League, you're told when you slide, you take out the fucking second baseman or the shortstop who's making the throw to first at all costs. And man, when I used to play, I would slice studs up into people's knees. It's like I don't want you telling me if my friend needs to get on base, the guy behind me, no matter what, I'm taking out your fucking body, right for the knee. That's what you're taught. I got taught that when I was 8, just like how my dad said, you don't crowd the plate. So
you know what I was taught?
He used to throw at the ball.
You know what I was taught?
80 miles an hour and hit me in the side. Stop crowding the plate. Well, Jesus Christ, dude.
He'll be in later.
Jesus?
Yeah. So what I was taught specifically was when running to first base and someone is trying to tag you with their glove, pull an A-Rod and try to smack it out of their hand.
Smack it out of their hand?
Yeah.
No, studs up on their foot.
So, okay, game 6 was awesome, all right? It was riveting. What do you expect for game 7?
I don't fucking know. What do I expect from game 7? I expect Joe Buck, when Andre Ethier comes to bat, to say the longest tenured Dodger. Because he said it every series. I'm expecting
what other Buckisms?
I'm expecting him to say, if we see Brendan Morrow, will be the first pitcher since Dansby something.
Swanson?
No, because it was like a different, it was like a John Dansby from like 1744. The declaration wasn't even signed to pitch in every game of a World Series. I'm expecting Joe Buck to say this is a must-win game. I'm expecting him when the John Smoltz graphic comes up for most strikeouts by in the postseason. It says John Smoltz, who's the leader, with 199, and Joe Buck to be like, man, one short of 200. He's still the fucking best at it. Okay, I'm expecting Joe Buck to discuss. Let me think. Jock Peterson wanting to get paid. Which, by the way, some people were mad on Twitter because he was showing up the pitcher. Fuck off, it's the World Series, man. Show up the pitcher. Don't give up home runs.
Are you trying to get paid, or were you playing like a weird game of Pong?
That's what do you call it? That's literally what he did. Jock Peterson, he turned to the...
Did this?
He turned to his dugout rounding third base and he literally said, pay me.
I didn't see that part. I saw them hyping up the crowd part.
He said, pay me, which is awesome.
The only thing I've ever liked about Jock Peterson, 2 things. Number 1, I respect that he still can't grow a beard.
No, he'll always have that baby face.
Number 2, I respect that he wore a Wendy Peppercorn t-shirt after one game in LA.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
I'm a big fan of anybody who's channeling their inner Bryce Harper and saying fuck you to the unwritten rules of baseball, because they are written by archaic old men. And by the way, archaic old men who run many things in this country are insane, and they don't know what the hell's going on anymore. They're not in tune with the millennials who are ruining everything. So Bryce Harper and Jock Peterson are ruining baseball, sure. No, show up the pitcher, especially in the fucking World Series. Do whatever you can that's going to get under the skin of the opposing team.
We were going to talk about this yesterday.
What?
I had JR put together that he was like, I can't stand da-da-da, like some unwritten rule. I'm like, give me your top 5 and let's talk about it on the show.
I've done a few.
So we're going to do this once more.
I talk about this always, the dumbest unwritten rules. Some of them include.
Let's do the 3 of us on Friday.
Okay, but the dumbest unwritten rule in the history of baseball is.
Pimping your home run?
No. The dumbest unwritten rule in baseball is that if Bryce Harper's pitcher on the mound, Scherzer that day, hits Buster Posey, the next day Harper gets hit because he's the best player on the team. What the fuck is that? That's not how that works. And it shouldn't be how it works. It's dumb.
I agree.
Fight each other, charge the mound, be men.
Just the retaliation unwritten rule is just
retaliation.
It's just dumb. Everything about it is dumb.
Here's why I compared the what do you call it? the pimping off the home run. Could you imagine for a second if after Steph Curry hit a 3, like if if he did anything, looked at his bench, the other bench cleared because you don't show up the other team when you hit a 3. Look what happened to football. They took away the celebrations.
Yeah.
And it absolutely put a damper on like the fun of watching what could happen. If you don't want somebody to score points off you, don't allow them to do it.
Agreed.
So if they hit a home run, my God, I would be bat flipping. I might even pull my dick out and spin it around at the pitcher just to.
That would require your dick being large.
I know, that's true. It's very true. So we have to worry about that later. At the same time, I would do it to show them, fuck you, suck off.
Suck off.
Suck off. Suck off.
That was good. All right, good rant. I appreciate it. Game 7, real quick. Who do you have? We have 2 minutes.
I've backed the Astros this entire fucking time. I can't turn my back on the Astros now. The Dodgers are probably going to win, but I have the Astros.
I have the Doyers.
I
have the Doyers. I said before the series I thought they would win in 6, so I got to continue to back them. They're going to win in 7. Scott Carpenter asked, why do you refuse to talk about the Eagles? What did the Eagles ever do to you?
I did a clip on them being the best team in football.
We also did a clip on how not tipping our hand, but Carson Wentz against Dak Prescott. That's going to be coming out a little bit later. But
you guys don't talk about the Eagles.
We're going to talk about the Eagles.
That's how commenters.
Can you do that again? No, it was better the first time.
Commenters talk like this. You don't talk about the Eagles. That's what they talk like. All of them.
How does Bunda sound?
Bunda?
Yeah.
Bunda's a good dude. He is.
Nah.
No, he is. I've actually, he's a good dude. I've talked to him before. He's just a troll, and he doesn't actually mean what he says. He's always having fun. He's been commenting and watching this channel since you started it like 9 years ago. That's like one of the most loyal people who watches the channel. He says some funny dumb stuff in the comments
Really
section.
dumb stuff.
Yeah, but
Really
he's been watching since day one, man.
All right.
If anyone deserves to say dumb stuff in the comments, it's Bunda.
Adane Tawaldi says, Dreamville! In all caps.
Hey.
And like 9 million exclamation points.
Facts.
Alrighty, Jaleel Okafor.
Stop, all of you guys are looking at us. We have a minute and 3 seconds.
We also started late, all right? We also started late, so we get one more.
No, we don't.
Yeah, Skip just gave us the okay. We get one more. You tell me, what do you want to do? You want to do Jaleel Okafor? Let's do Jaleel Okafor. All right.
We should probably.
Bleacher Report had a really interesting write-up about, oh, damn it. Give me 1 second. Because I haven't opened the app in a while, it just did the thing where it disappears. Hang on.
Wow.
Hang on. All right, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Bleacher Report had a really interesting write-up about the potential landing spots for Jaleel Okafor. We will go through the list. Jason will give his take, and then we'll be out. The Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks would receive Jared Bayless and Jaleel Okafor. The Sixers would get Kent Bazemore. The Brooklyn Nets would receive Jaleel, trading away Quincy Acey, a 2018 Pacers second-round pick. Moving forward, the Bulls, which seems very logical because he's from Chicago. There will always be that correlation. The Bulls would get him. The 76ers would get Cameron Payne. That is a weak trade. The Mavs.
So a bunch of great college players.
The Mavs. Seriously, here's a great college player.
Here's some Michigan State, some Duke.
Two of them. Hang on. 2 of them. The Mavericks would get Jaleel and Nick Stauskas.
Sauce Castillo.
The Sixers would get Wes Matthews. I like Wes Matthews a lot. The Knicks would get Jaleel Okafor and Stauskas.
No, fuck no.
They would trade Kyle O'Quinn and Lance Thomas.
Maybe.
And lastly, just a buyout with the landing spots as a dark horse. They put that at the top. Dark horse. Boston Celtics, Memphis Grizzlies, Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio
You know when they
Spurs.
talk about landscape changing moves? This move is if you had scorched earth in front of you, the apocalypse.
Oh, yes, which will happen.
It just adds to more scorched earth of the apocalypse. Like nothing would fucking change.
So you're saying he's like the Night King that plagues your team?
The Night King is supremely accurate and has a cannon for a fucking arm.
Apples to oranges because this isn't football.
I know, okay, so you can hit it from 30.
You kind of hit me with the dead end there.
The Night King is 100 for 100 from the logo, okay? That's what the Night King is. You know, fucking, and he's calm.
He's very calm.
Very calm.
Very calm.
For a man.
You know what he doesn't do? Pimp his home run.
No, he doesn't have to.
He's cool, calm, and collected.
He's cool because he's a very cold-hearted individual. He doesn't really have much.
Literally, he has no heart.
It's not about his feelings, really. He doesn't have any emotions.
Where do you want to see him go?
Jaleel Okafor, the G League.
Stop it.
Look, okay, here's the thing. Jaleel Okafor could be, in my opinion, 3 years in, it's like they're 2.5 years technically, we're only a quarter of the way through the season. The jury is pretty much out on Jahlil Okafor. Maybe a new system gives him a new purpose.
Isn't he like 21, dude?
He's 22. He's very young. However, like any prospect, this isn't like the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard thing where in year 4 or 5, because there's been zero sign of Jahlil Okafor becoming a good player in the NBA.
Right.
So I think Jahlil Okafor, if he went to a really good team, so let's say he goes to the Warriors, or he went to the Rockets, or he went to the Spurs. I don't think Popovich even wants to touch him. So,
no, I don't think
but if
so.
he went to any of those teams and he becomes like the 9th or 10th guy in a
Who's
brilliant,
the bench big man on the Rockets? I think I like that move.
Clint Capella?
Nope, he's starting. The bench
behind him?
big.
No, off the top of my, I don't know off the top of my head.
That could be a good landing spot. I like that.
No, it won't be, because Jahlil Okafor, you can't put him, if you put him on a great team, of course he would fit in a little bit better. The problem with Jahlil Okafor is he's got one post move from 1991, and it doesn't work in today's NBA. So, and it's not like he's got the touch around the rim either. Nene Hilario? Meme? So Ben calls memes memes.
That's true.
So
that's the bench.
I don't want to just bury Jahlil Okafor. It's just, what has he shown us? Like Nerlens Noel has disappeared completely on Dallas. And we all thought, well, maybe he just needs a change of pace. He's good in transition. He could be a utility player. He's got way more to offer than Jahlil does. But Jalil's one thing is to back that ass up and try to make a turnaround like hook shot.
Right,
and
rightfully so. Like his post moves, the last time that song was relevant was in a different era.
Yes.
Yeah.
Song's still relevant. Okay, song's relevant.
It's still relevant, but not really. Like you don't hear it in the club, and not that I'm going. You don't
going
hear
to
it
the club?
in the club.
What do you hear in the club
anymore.
nowadays?
All up in the videos. No. I kind of like your Rockets pick. I really do, because he can learn.
By the way,
he can learn from
D'Antoni's
Nene,
not that
and
dumb.
he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands ever.
He can't go to the Rockets though, because that stops the 7. It would turn into the 22 seconds or more offense if they gave it to Jahlil.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul would put him in his fucking place, like he had to do with DeAndre Jordan at times.
Chris Paul's got to
league.
adjust to Mike D'Antoni before he could put anybody in his place.
I disagree. I think that Chris Paul has that sort of veteran savvy, and I'm using broad terms here, but because of the longevity that he has had in the NBA, he could say almost anything to anybody. And I've noticed this as well. When they're coming back to the huddle, D'Antoni will do his thing, and then Chris Paul will go walk like a chauffeur, walking them out to the court and talking to each and every player respectively at different times when they're going back.
He's coaching
so I think he can mentor and nurture Jahlil Okafor. And the thing is, they see something in Clint Capella, I see something in Clint Capella. Nene's going to be in the league for what, another 1 to 2 years, maybe? Yeah. Now you could have a guy who could be not a star, but a backup in the making in Jahlil Okafor. I'm latching onto your Rockets pick.
His pace, I know. That's why I'm saying go there if you want to turn into a set. But I'm saying the point is he would never fit there.
What will happen is he will get traded to the Bulls, because he doesn't improve your winning odds at all.
Yeah,
and they're not trying to win.
And he'll average 24 points, and people will be fooled by the idea like, oh my God, Jahlil Okafor can play. It's like, yeah, if your team is shit, it's like the Michael Carter-Williams effect. Michael Carter-Williams is a bad point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers and nearly averaged like a triple-double as like the rookie, and I think he won Rookie of the Year.
He did win Rookie of the Year.
And then he left. And he left, and we went, oh my God, that's right. Michael Carter-Williams is not a good guard in this league.
And he went to the Bucks.
He went to the Bucks.
And then he went to the, did he play on the Suns at all?
He might have, he hopped around. But again, then you realize like, oh, that's right, he's not a good guard in this league.
Right.
If you have to make an argument for the 8th or 9th or 10th spot, means you're on the borderline of being not in the NBA.
You know where he could go, truly, aside from the Bulls?
China.
Brooklyn.
China.
Brooklyn. Mozgov's gonna be gone. D'Angelo and Jahlil, have some fun. Spread the love. Alrighty, we're out of here. We appreciate everybody watching. Like this video, comment below, and
that's it. Subscribe to the channel. I did it. I did it. I did it this time. Okay? It was faster.